Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the stream today. The B&B show is back, and Ben and I are making our conference picks. Going Big 12, all the Power 5 conferences, and then we'll do American and Big East as well. You ready, Ben? Let's get right into it.
I'm ready.
This year is unlike any other year. I had a commenter yesterday in my video. I believe his name is Dan Anderson. He asked for this video, and I wanted to do it anyways. So shout out to you, Dan. And he was talking about how this year is so wide open in a lot of conferences, and I'm right with you. I think Ben agrees. I mean, it can go either way in a ton of different conferences.
There's a lot of good teams.
There's a lot of good teams. Maybe the only conference out of the 7 that we're going to do today that I think there's a legitimate heavy favorite is the Big 12 with Baylor. But there are a lot of good teams there, and then the American with Houston. Other than that, SEC, you can maybe say Bama, but the SEC, usually the favorite doesn't win from past tourneys, and then the ACC, all over the place, and then the other ones, I won't get into that. Let's start with the Big 12, Ben. First round starts this Wednesday, TCU, Kansas State. I'm going with Kansas State.
I'm not. I think Kansas State and Iowa State are the 2 worst teams in the Power 5. Kansas State only has 1 good win. They beat Oklahoma. That's a good win.
I watched that game. That's why I had them there.
The rest of that, I've seen too many games where they've played like absolute trash for me to pick them. I think TCU is still the better bet here.
All right. Oklahoma, Iowa State. I don't even think this is debatable. Oklahoma by 1 million.
It's shocking that Oklahoma is the 7th seed. That's
that
crazy.
Is shocking.
That's crazy. But yeah, Oklahoma should easily win.
West Virginia, Oklahoma State. This is going to be a dandy. This is going to be a hell of a game.
God,
I had Cade Cunningham in the thumbnail, so I feel a little bit of pressure to go Oklahoma State. I think this is their year where they make some noise. I'm going to go Oklahoma State.
I think that both of these teams are Elite 8 contenders, if not Final 4 contenders. But I think West Virginia is just a little more solid all around. I do like both of them. I think West Virginia will win this game now.
Both of these teams, very good teams, though.
It's crazy that that's a first round, second round matchup. Oh my god.
Baylor versus the game winner. I have Kansas State, TCU, Baylor. I don't even think we have to debate that.
Yeah, Baylor should against whoever. Also, Brad, there's like a loud noise coming from your end. I don't know. Okay,
Is that better?
Yeah, I think that's
okay. Scrolling down, we have Kansas. They will play the winner of Oklahoma, Iowa State. I believe that would be Oklahoma, and I believe Oklahoma will win that game. I'm not huge on Kansas. I think Oklahoma takes care of business there.
Yeah, that might be the rare game where the 2 seed is the underdog against the 7 seed, although I think it'll be very even matched. Kansas has been playing a lot better recently. David McCormick, their center, has stepped up his level of play a lot, but they did just almost lose to UTEP. I'm going to go with Oklahoma.
That was a shaky game. Texas Tech, another very good game. I've seen both these teams play a fair amount. I really don't have any. I mean, I'm going to go Texas just because they finished with a better record in the Big 12. They had a lot of talent early in the year when they played Villanova. That's pretty much the only full game I've watched of them. And they had a pretty dominant win against TCU on Sunday, so I'm going to go Texas.
Look, my dad says that Texas Tech plays every night because they're always on TV. But I've seen a lot about these teams too. I'm actually going to go with Texas Tech. I really like their defense. Offense can be a struggle, but I think they're actually just as good as Texas, if not better. Yeah,
great Big 12 second. Like Big 12 is loaded. I think the Big 12 is better than the Big 10. I've been saying that for probably the past 2 months, and that's not just out of Michigan bias. I legitimately think that, and I have good reason. Going up, I had Oklahoma State, Ben had West Virginia. I think Baylor's going to win regardless. Ben, what do you think?
Yeah.
Baylor wins regardless. Yeah. Still, 2 very good teams. I want to point that out.
Yes.
Moving down, Ben, we both have Oklahoma, right? Or did you have Kansas?
We both had Oklahoma.
So Oklahoma against, you have Tech, I have Texas. Wow. I'm going Texas. I think Texas wins this close. Trying to revert the Red River rivalry to Austin this year. In basketball, they're going to win it in a huge, huge semifinal game.
I think that Tech against Oklahoma is super even matched. the entire Big 12 top 7 is, except for Baylor, is extremely even matched. So it's hard to pick. I will pick Oklahoma making the Big 12 final. I like what they're doing with their Austin Reeves, Brady Manick. They got some good offensive players.
I also would like to point out I have Texas advancing on the fact that Oklahoma played one more game. Granted, it's against Iowa State, but another game, another day of play, it has some wear and tear on you. Just want to point that out. So that's why I also have Texas. And then Texas, Baylor, I don't even have to say Baylor's winning.
Yeah, Baylor, Oklahoma. I think that Baylor is so good. They've really bounced back.
Oklahoma's 7-seed run comes to an end for Mr. Bendy one.
Baylor is so good. I'm sorry. It's hard to pick against them.
All right. Also, for anyone wondering where we're finding this, looked up college basketball tournament brackets or conference tournament brackets. ESPN has everything here. I don't know what that is. Can't even get out of it. Doesn't matter.
Shall we go to
Let's go Big East.
All right.
All right. I've scoured through this. I have my picks already, which I think the Big East is probably the most undecided conference. If I'm being completely honest, I really don't know what's going to happen here. My picks have changed in the past few days. Yesterday, I was UConn, but Greg McDermott coming back. I think this is Creighton's to lose, but we'll touch on that in a second. Marquette, Georgetown. This is for you, Tim. Golden Eagles on top.
Golden Eagles, baby. Let's go, Tim.
All right. Butler, Xavier. I'm going Xavier. Not even close. The Musketeers are a really solid team, and they'll need to win a few games to solidify their spot in the tourney.
Are they a really solid team? They've lost 5 of their last 7. They had a COVID pause earlier. I don't think they're that good at all. I don't think they're a tournament team, but they did have a good start to the year.
That's what I'm basing it off.
I can see this going anywhere, but Xavier is a must-win game for them if they want to make the tournament, so I'll go with Xavier.
DePaul, Providence.
Tim just said go Eagles.
Tim just said go Eagles. DePaul, Providence. Another game could go either way. I know DePaul has been good, but Providence, except for their win against Villanova this past weekend on Saturday, they haven't looked great either. I am going to go Providence, though. They've had a few wins at the end of the year. They had some really solid guard play. Going Providence.
Yeah, I can't go with DePaul here. I'm sorry.
One of the worst Power 5
teams. The hometown team, DePaul, they're never good, it feels like. This is just another year of – I think Providence just gets this one.
I agree. All right. Villanova, Marquette, Ben, we agree?
I think it'll be actually very close. I'm not a believer in Villanova without Colin Gillespie at all.
And Justin Moore. Justin Moore, for anyone wondering, is out for the Big East tournament.
Providence is destroying Villanova before Justin Moore got.
Or he is doubtful. He is doubtful for the Big East tournament. I don't see him playing unless they make the final.
Look, I think this game. Tim said it. Marquette hasn't pathed to the final here. Villanova's undermanned. I'm going to go with Villanova, but I think Marquette really could scare them this game.
I do too. I'm right with you. Villanova wins close. Marquette's a dangerous team. Seton Hall, St. John's. Ben was giving Villanova a ton of flack. St. John's is the 4 seed in the Big East. I'm going Seton Hall here, close. And if we want to stick on this side, Ben, I think Villanova will barely beat Seton Hall to advance to the championship.
I actually disagree with your Seton Hall pick. I think St. John's has been the better team recently. I mean, Seton Hall has fallen apart completely.
They have, but I don't know. Kevin Willard, hell of a coach. Mamua Buddha-Sursashki.
Andrew Mumascavelli or something like that.
I just call him Mamu.
Yeah, he's a great player.
He is. No, him and Miles Powell were doing wonders last year. I don't know.
I think is Posh. I don't know if Posh Alexander is playing, but if he is, I have St. John's. I'm pretty sure St. John's is. I think St. John's is the better team, and they actually still have small tournament hopes if they can get.
They do. No, they do. I agree with you. Moving down, Creighton, Xavier, not even close. I'm going the Blue Jays. Creighton wins that easily.
We have a spoiler, but my Big East champion's going to win this one easily.
So you have Creighton?
Yeah.
Okay. So Creighton wins. UConn, Providence. UConn is a solid team, heating up now since the Villanova lost 2 weeks ago. Buck Knight and company have stepped up. I've seen Buck Knight as high as 15 and 20 in some NBA mock drafts. I think I saw him at like 8-1, which is too high. I mean, they call him Shabazz Napier. Shabazz Napier didn't do much in the NBA, but we'll keep that for another day. UConn wins that easily.
Hey, if Book Knight's Shabazz Napier, then UConn's winning.
Oh, in the tourney. Yeah.
But I think UConn is a scary 8-9 seed. Michigan probably going to be a 1 seed. I would not want to face UConn in a second-round game. I'll tell you that.
No, solid team.
And I
Creighton UConn will be one hell of a game for Friday night. I will say that. 9 o'clock on Friday, I will be tuned in to UConn Creighton. And I don't know. This is a game that can go either way. Who's hot? Who played good the night before? UConn's first year in the Big East. Got to point that out.
Well, first year back.
First year back. I'm going Creighton. I have to go Creighton. Without McDermott, I don't know. But McDermott's a good coach. What he said was inexcusable.
Oh, gosh.
But Creighton just has a ton of talent. What I saw on that cold February day, Ben, when they played Villanova at home, that was dangerous. They looked like a national championship team there. I'm going Creighton.
Before the year started, we thought Creighton would be a national championship contender.
Yes.
And they still could be.
They still could be.
They haven't played like it throughout the entire season, but I do think they're getting hot, and I think they're going to beat UConn.
I will say early in the year they had some struggles. They had a game against Kansas that I was tuned in for. They just threw. They just threw that game. Zagorowski missed a ton of free throws there. Everyone was missing their free throws. Defensively, they just collapsed in the last few minutes. And after that, Creighton has rebounded. But they had 4 or 5 losses in the first 10 games maybe. They had a terrible start.
Someone named Dave Anderson asked, do you guys have a favorite team? Or are you just fans of the sport? My favorite team is Michigan. We'll get there.
My favorite team is Villanova for basketball. And then football-wise, Notre Dame, and Ben is Michigan. Yeah, we have some relatives, so I guess we have reason for this too. Also, Ben, I think it's easier if we just go full screen with this.
Yes.
I was going to say that 5 minutes ago, but I didn't, just for the viewers. So championship game, Ben. I have the Wildcats. You have Creighton, correct?
I have Creighton.
So I don't even think this is debatable. Creighton's going to win. I'm sorry. I don't think Villanova can beat them again back-to-back times.
Yeah, I agree.
If Justin Moore comes back for this game, maybe. But I really think Creighton has this one.
I agree with you. I think Creighton's the best team in the Big East at the moment because of the Villanova injuries.
Absolutely. All right.
So
let's see who's next.
We'll do one more in-depth tournament, and then we can just talk about maybe who we think will win. We should do the Big Ten in-depth, I feel like, and then we can maybe.
Ben, bro, I don't care that you have to go eat lunch. It's not my fault. I told you to eat during English. Oh my god! All right, what do you want to do? No,
let's do that. Fine, we can do Big Ten and ACC.
You want to do it in 2 parts, Ben? We do 2 videos.
Okay.
Do another one tomorrow because they don't really start until tomorrow afternoon, and the games really suck. Okay. All right, here we go. We'll do part 2 tomorrow. Big Ten will be tomorrow for anyone wondering. We've done Big East, Big 12, and now the ACC, so we're almost halfway there. All right, Pitt, Miami. 2 bad teams. I really don't know. Haven't put much thought into this game at all. It's all about the U, though. Miami is a beautiful campus. I'm going Miami.
Miami has some random wins. They beat Duke. They beat Purdue in the Big Ten ACC Challenge. I
actually do remember that, yeah.
In a kind of insane game, but I don't think they're good at all. I think they're actually one of the worst teams in the Big East. ACC. But I think Pitt gets the win here. All
right. Duke, BC. BC put up a fight against Villanova, I'm not going to lie, early in the season. But this shouldn't even be debatable. Duke is winning this game by 1 million.
Yeah, Duke's going to need a run to the ACC final if they're going to make the tournament. So if they lose this game, there's going to be just anger in Durham. But I do think Duke takes care of business.
All right. Fighting Irish versus the Demon Deacons. I'm going the Fighting Irish. 2 very similar schools. I'm going Notre Dame, though. Go Irish. That's all I got to say.
Look, fresh off of a huge win over Florida State that I've heard might have saved Mike Bray's job. They were calling for his head in the previous game.
They were. They were chanting Fire Bray.
Yeah, that is sad to hear because he's been a good coach there. And that's kind of just rude. But I think that Notre Dame will beat Wake Forest. They're, at the moment, the hotter team.
I would like to say, though, on the Mike Bray fire rumors and whatnot, he has 1 more year in his deal. Jack Swarbrick is not gonna boot him out of South Bend. He'll finish this last year, next year. If it goes great, keep him around. If it doesn't, he'll be on his way to retirement. I will say, though, Jim Boeheim, I'd love to see it happen. I'll say
John
that.
Beeline, I think.
John Beeline. I always say Boeheim because Syracuse coach, yada, yada. Syracuse, NC State, talking about Syracuse.
Yep.
NC State always makes a very weird run, somewhat deep into the ACC. I always watch them in these ACC games.
They've also won 5 in a row.
They also have, yes. They've been on a run. So I'm going NC State. Hughes has been very inconsistent. Had a huge comeback win against the Fighting Irish about 3 weeks ago. But they haven't been a very solid team.
Syracuse is on the edge of the bubble. They're going to need to run to the Final Four pretty much if they're going to make the tournament, or run to the ACC final if they're going to make the tournament. So I think they're the desperate team. NC State's pretty much out of tournament contention. I'll go with Syracuse.
I will say, though, when Syracuse makes March Madness, they don't go down without a fight.
They never do. That's why I'm picking them to win here.
All right. Moving on, Clemson is going to win that game no matter what. Do we even have to talk about that, Ben? We'll say
Look, Clemson had a terrible stretch after their COVID break, but they've rebounded nicely. That's what I'll say.
Amir Sim, shout out. Louisville, Duke, good game. But I'm going the Cardinals from the Yum Center.
KFC Yum.
KFC Yum, great name.
Carlick Jones, the Radford transfer, is the number 1 overall transfer in the country. He's been good for Louisville. They're inconsistent. Their seed has plummeted recently. They're now down at predicted 10 or 11 seed. So both these teams need this win. I'm just gonna go with Duke. I think Duke's gonna make a nice slow run in the ACC tournament.
All right, Ben's going Duke. I think Duke could easily win that game. That's gonna be a good one on Wednesday. North Carolina, Notre Dame, UNC. I don't even think that's debatable.
Yeah, UNC is getting actually hot. They're gonna be tough. In the
dominant win against Duke on Saturday. Virginia. Who do we have then? I had NC State.
Virginia versus I did not have NC State.
You had Syracuse?
Yeah.
I'm going UVA. UVA, though, is not a great team. Florida State, in my mind, is a better team than UVA. UVA is solid.
Look, UVA is experienced, I'll say. Sam Hauser, Kihei Clark, Jay Huff. Yeah, Jay Huff. They have a great coach, Tony Bennett, one of the most underrated coaches in the country.
I think he's the second best coach in the country to Jay Wright, in all honesty. I think Juwan Howard's third. My top 3 is Jay Wright, Tony Bennett.
I honestly think Tony Bennett might be the best.
And then Mark Few's probably up there too.
I'm not just saying that. I think Tony Bennett should get more credit for what he's done at the program, but I think Virginia wins this game. I think they're experienced, and I actually don't want to discount them at all.
I'm just going to move in a little bit more. Yeah, that should look better. Georgia Tech, Clemson. Georgia Tech, red hot.
I know. Moses
People in Atlanta are hyped up about this Georgia Tech team. This game could really go either way, but I think Georgia Tech with a little bit more rest and not coming off a game the night before, I think Georgia Tech's going to win this.
I agree. I'm not super high on Clemson. I don't think they're that explosive, exciting, any of the words you want to use to describe them. I think they're a tournament team, but I think Georgia Tech's just gone on a huge tear recently. A guy by the name of Moses Wright's been averaging 20 and 10. If they make the tourney, which they should, remember this guy's name, and I think Georgia Tech beats Clemson here.
FSU, Louisville. Scotty Barnes has played admirably. I'm a huge Scotty Barnes fan. That's why he's in the thumbnail. I will have to change I would assume him out of there, though, just because we're not talking about the Big Ten today. But Florida State takes care of business here. I'm not too worried against either Duke or Louisville. I think Duke. If it were Duke, though, they'd put up more of a fight. I'll say that.
I have Duke here.
Wow.
I have Duke here. I'm not
Florida
just.
State, they just get.
Look, I might be just totally misguided in predicting that Duke goes on a run in the tournament, but I think that Mike Krzyzewski's a great coach. Brad doesn't. I don't know why. Brad doesn't.
He's a great coach. He's a top 10 coach. But
okay. He's aging, but I still think he has a couple runs in him. I think this Duke team is better than its record. It's way better. DJ Stewart's been playing well recently. Go. Like you went to Fenwick, so we got to root for him.
No, we don't root for him.
And I think
that he went to Indiana.
Florida State's really young, so I don't know. I think that they're inexperienced. They're still a great team, but I got Duke here.
All right, VTech, North Carolina. VTech looks solid early in the year. They handed Villanova their first loss. I'm going the Tar Heels, though. They've been hot. Caleb Love has really put on a show here of late. Have some good forward and big play. I'm going the Tar Heels.
Yep. I'm also going to go with the Tar Heels against Louisville. Or no, wait. I didn't have – what am I saying? Is
Against
it Louisville?
VTech, Virginia
no,
Tech.
VTech. Yeah, sorry. I can't even – it's hard for me to see this the screen because it's kind of small. But, yeah, I got the Tar Heels against Virginia Tech, who both are good teams. Both are tournament teams. But I think North Carolina is really hot right now.
All right. Virginia, Georgia Tech, we agree, Ben?
Virginia versus Georgia Tech, yes, we agree.
Go Virginia. I got to go Virginia. It's close, though. I mean, Georgia Tech, I think they're a tournament lock. If they're to make it to this game, I think they're a tournament lock. I'm not too worried. Virginia's making the ACC chip.
Yep, I agree. I do think you got to say something for just consistency. Tim says, "What about the Eagles' loss? That Eagles loss to North Carolina." Before, I think he left the show, but I think before he left, he was asking about Marquette beating North Carolina. Hey,
Yeah,
that did happen.
did happen.
But I going back to what we were talking about, I think Virginia is going to make the ACC final.
And then you have Louisville, or no, you have Duke.
I got a Duke North Carolina matchup in the ACC semis.
I was going to say that, but I didn't. I have North Carolina, Florida State. I think North Carolina takes care of business. They make it all the way to the ACC championship game against the Hoos of Virginia. Ben, who do you have?
I have the same situation playing out with different teams. I got North Carolina beating Duke for the third time this year. I don't know if that's happened. It probably has. This is a must-win for Duke, but I think North Carolina is honestly one of the best teams in the ACC.
I agree.
At least they're playing like it.
Very underseeded at number 6.
Yeah. And I got a Virginia-North Carolina ACC final.
I do as well. And in that game,
I have Virginia. I'll let you think about it for a sec. But
no, I have Virginia.
I picked them in my bracket for Champ Week, which is like ESPN's doing a little thing where you could possibly win some money if you pick the teams right. I have Virginia winning this tournament. I think they're the experienced team. They're not that exciting, but Tony Bennett knows how to get results. Roy
Williams, good comeback year from that horrendous 2020 season. I'm going Wahoo Wah. Go UVA, but close. Close go championship. Yes. Ben, do you have to leave or can we?
We can probably do one more conference.
One more? You want to do Big Ten?
Yeah, let's do Big Ten.
Okay. So then I don't have to change IO off. Here we go, Ben. Here we go. All right, I think
This is honestly the one I'm most excited about, and I think there's so many good teams in here. So.
All right. Well, how's that, Ben?
That's good.
Okay, Minnesota Northwestern. Minnesota has plummeted off the face of the earth. I literally don't even know what to say. Northwestern, I think, is going to win this game. Coach Collins is a great coach.
Yeah,
I can't even speak on Minnesota.
I can explain some of the problems with Minnesota. They lost 2 of their starters. Center Liam Robbins had a leg injury. He was huge for them early on in the year, so that's tough. And then they also lost their captain, Gabe Kalsher from Medina, Minnesota, right where my dad's parents live and my dad grew up. So they lost 2 important players, and they haven't won a game in forever. I do have Northwestern as well.
That is Northwestern.
Look, I want to make excuses for Richard Pitino because, bro, Minnesota's been so killed by injuries this year. I think he will get fired. I don't believe he should get fired based off this year. I'll just say that.
I agree with you, Ben, on that. Michigan State, Maryland. Ben said Maryland is a sneaky team to watch out for in our prior podcast. I'm going Sparty. Had a great win against Michigan, undermanned or not. I'm going Sparty.
Look, both these teams have gotten hot at the right time. I'm concerned about both these teams potentially being 8-9 seeds in the tournament and facing Michigan for a second round. I'm gonna go with Maryland here. I didn't think Michigan State looked that good against Michigan. I just thought Michigan just played terribly, honestly. And I'm not discounting Michigan State, but I do have Maryland winning this game.
All right, Michigan State. You had Michigan State, correct, or did I just blank?
I had Maryland.
Maryland? Jesus, I'm sorry. Maryland, Michigan, not even debate. I'm taking – or Michigan State, Michigan for me. I'm taking Michigan. I don't think Michigan State can meet them back-to-back times.
If they did, that would be a problem. But I have Michigan against Maryland. Michigan's blown out Maryland the 2 times they've played. They really match up well against Maryland. Neither game has been close. So that's what I have to say about that.
All right.
should we go?
Northwestern, Ohio State. I don't even think this is remotely close. Ohio State by 1 million.
The shock.
Ohio State is.
I mean, if you look at
it's
the
criminal. They're a 5 seed.
prior game, Northwestern actually beat Ohio State last time they played. That was a long time ago. It was before Northwestern tanked. They were ranked for a point.
They were ranked for a good few weeks.
But yeah, Ohio State needs to get off the losing train. They're so good. To be on a 4-game losing streak is insane. I can't believe that team's on a 4-game losing streak, but they will get back to business, and they'll beat Northwestern.
All right, Ben thinks to get back to business. I think they get back to business in a big way, and they beat Purdue. On Friday evening.
Yeah, Purdue, they've snuck up there. No one's talking about them, but they're the Big Ten 4 seed. They're ranked ahead of Ohio State. They're now sneaking into the top 4 seed line in bracketology. And no one was talking about them this entire year. They really weren't ranked until recently, but they're led by some great freshmen. Trevion Williams, a big boy center. He's probably their best player, and they have a good mix of freshmen and upperclassmen. I think they're good, but I do think Ohio State will win this game based off their talent level.
And then we go to Ohio State, Michigan, a rematch. I think Michigan takes care of business. Ohio State's going to be hungry and angry, though. Michigan wins in a close one. I'd give it probably 10 points. And I think the over-under will be somewhere around that. If they do end up playing each other, we don't know, though. It's the Big Ten tournament. Anything can happen. Scrolling down to the other side of the bracket, where Illinois leads at number 2. Nebraska, Penn State. Both teams not good. Penn State very solid last year, though. I think they had a shot to make the Elite Eight. Lamar Stevens was balling out. I don't really have a choice here. I'm going to go Penn State. Go Nittany Lions. Drew Aller, you broke my heart.
When Brad says not good about these two teams, relative to the rest of the Big Ten, they're not good, but both of them are ranked in the top 100 on most metric sites, which is crazy. I mean, every team in the Big Ten is ranked top 100. Nebraska, obviously, is the worst team in the Big Ten, but they did just beat Rutgers by 22. I'm going to take Fred Hoiberg. I'm going to take Teddy. Oh, no, they lost Teddy Allen, their best player, but I'm taking Nebraska here in a shocker.
Ben is taking Nebraska. I could see that happening. Moving on to Indiana Rutgers, however. I think this is a Rutgers W. Been inconsistent this year. Indiana has 2. Trace Jackson Davis is a stud. He can take over this game. But they're not really in the tournament. They're not really close. If they make it to the Big Ten chip, maybe, but that's just so hard against Iowa and Illinois. I'm taking Rutgers here, and I do think Rutgers will get absolutely obliterated by the Illini in game number 9. Ben, Wisconsin, or do you agree with me, Ben?
I agree with you on Rutgers, and I'm just going to say I think Archie Miller should be fired from Indiana.
Yes, I agree.
They tanked this year so bad, and there's no excuses for that.
They have the talent. Wisconsin, Penn State, and then Ben has Wisconsin, Nebraska. I have Wisconsin, not even close. Ben, do you have Wisconsin?
Yeah, I have Wisconsin in that game. Not much to explain.
Yes. Iowa, Wisconsin, good game. Iowa did just win. I will say Wisconsin got screwed over by a few of the calls. Wisconsin's coach and Wisconsin's players were livid about that. They took to social media. Like, everyone was going nuts about that. On the Wisconsin side of things, I do think Iowa wins this game, though. I think Luke Garza takes over. I have Iowa.
Yeah, I agree, but I do think it's crazy that Wisconsin has 11 losses. They're such a good team. For them to have 11 losses shows how good the Big Ten is. The Big Ten's given 10 losses to this Wisconsin team that was in the top 5 in the country at one point. That's crazy to me. I think Iowa's a Final Four contender. I think they're just as good as a lot of the. Iowa's so good. I have Iowa.
Ben has Iowa. I have Iowa. We both have Illinois. Illinois, Iowa. This is a game that will be interesting. Kofi Coburn will have a ton on his shoulders. Iowa Sumu having to guard the Iowan point guard or the guard duo. They're both from Iowa, correct?
Jordan Bohannon and CJ Frederick. Yep.
Then they're both from Iowa.
Yeah, I think they're in that area. They're Midwesterners.
Midwest, Nebraska, maybe same thing. I have Illinois. Illinois in a close one. This will be a good scrappy game, though. I'm super excited on CBS as well. And that other loss to the Eagles. Yes, Tim is right. Wisconsin's one pre-Big Ten tournament or pre-Big Ten conference only play loss What's to the Marquette Golden Eagles? I have Illinois, though, advancing to the Big Ten chip. Ben?
This is such a good game. It's like the Big 12. It's crazy how these teams are in the same conference and going to meet before the final game. Michigan got lucky with the bracket in this one, but I actually have Iowa here. I think Illinois is red hot. Let's not get that wrong, but I do think sometimes we tend to overhype a team when they're playing the way Illinois is playing, and I think Iowa, the first game these two teams played was so close, I thought Iowa should have won it, and I think Iowa's going to win, take revenge on
that was a great point that Ben just made. We were hyping up Michigan so much. Ben was hyping up Michigan, and then they plummeted. You can't always keep it going. They're going to have a week-long pause here. Illinois will. Saturday to Friday, I think. Saturday to Friday. That's 6 days. It's more than usual. So watch out for that. And then in the final game, Ben, we have Michigan, Illinois. I have the Illini. If Illinois is going to beat Iowa and beat Rutgers or Indiana, I think all those teams are better than who Michigan will face in Ohio State or Purdue, and then Maryland or Michigan State. I do think it will end up being an Illinois Big Ten championship banner, or there will be an Illinois Big Ten championship banner. They deserve it.
I don't have Illinois in the final, so I can't possibly have that outcome. I have Iowa in the final against Michigan, and I think that Michigan will take this one. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Michigan fan. I genuinely believe Michigan is still the best team in the Big Ten, even after the past week. I think if Eli Brooks is back, actually, that's a big if. If Eli Brooks is back, I have Michigan winning this title. If he's still injured, there's no reason to rush him back for this, but I would not have Michigan winning the title. I would have Iowa or Illinois winning the title if Eli Brooks is injured. But if Eli Brooks is back, Michigan wins the Big Ten title.
Juwan Howard yesterday in his press conference was asked about Eli Brooks. Of course, he had no update. Nobody really knows what it is. It wasn't a great camera shot of it. Something with his leg, his ankle.
He rolled it. It looked like.
Yeah, but we'll see. All right, that's the video. We will have the SEC, American, and Pac-12, probably the three lower teams. Sorry, the three lower ones are tomorrow. Still be exciting, though. We can talk about Houston, talk about the Pac-12, which is pretty much wide open. And in the SEC, Alabama and everyone. Can Missouri come back and get to their glory? They were ranked number 6 at one point. I want to point that out.
If you're watching to this point,
Tennessee was high too.
Arkansas, baby.
Arkansas too. I can't leave out the Razorbacks. But yeah, SEC, Pac-12, American tomorrow. Thank you for watching, especially you, Dave Anderson and Timothy Meeson. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, do all that good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow with part 2 of our conference tournament championship.